Hey everybody, happy Saturday and welcome to my Saturday edition of Tea and Toast with Suge. It's a beautiful day. It's sunny. It's about 70 degrees,
Almost 80.
80 degrees in Columbia, South Carolina. And in spite of and despite the fact that we are in a pandemic, we have decided to enjoy the day. So I encourage you to go out there and just get some sunshine and just be grateful for the moment. On Thursday, I think it was, I talked about announcing a segment, upcoming segment, with a very special guest. And I was so excited about it. And this is my special guest, Bianca Honey B. Davis. And welcome, Bianca.
Hi, thank you.
So glad you could join us.
Thanks.
Hope you're not in the sun too long. The title of that segment was When the Mentally Strong Get Anxious. And as some of you know, I am reading the book 13 Things That Mentally Strong People Don't Do by Amy Morin. And she talks about what is mental strength. And she talks about three things. First of all, genetics. Genetics play a role in whether or not you may be more prone to mental health issues such as mood disorders. Personality. Some people have personality traits that help them think more realistically and behave more positively by nature. And experiences. Your life experiences influence how you think about yourself, other people, and the world in general. So it got me thinking that, you know, a very personal, uh, well, it just got me thinking and it struck a very personal tone to me. So, Bianca Honeybee Davis is my daughter, and she suffers with anxiety. So, I wanted to invite her on to just hopefully for her to share her story and hopefully to share some tips with you as we all deal with an anxious time like this. So, okay, Bianca, I've already told them that you're my daughter. Tell them something more about yourself.
Um, well, I'm 29. I just turned 29 on March 24th. I have a 2-year-old daughter.
The one that I was talking about the other day. Yeah, that woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's mine.
Uh huh. Yeah.
I have suffered with anxiety, I believe, for 29 now, so I'd say about 19 years. I've suffered with anxiety, depression, mood swings, not really exactly at a young age knowing exactly what it was, just knowing that I hated it.
So did I.
Hated always just being on edge, hated always hating something. Nothing was ever making me happy. It was just, all or nothing. My attitudes would go from 0 to 100. Um, I'd be kicked out of class all the time. Um, it was just a rough patch. And until I realized exactly what it was hard to grasp. At a young age, you don't know what it is. You just know in that instant that something's not right. They're wanting to put you on medication and you don't want medication because you know you're not crazy.
Well, you did try medication,
And I
remember?
played into the medication because at 16, who wants to be on medicine? Like, that's no. Nobody wants to go to a psychiatrist. Nobody wants to, that's something that you do to appease your parents. Because, like I said, you do know there's something wrong, but you know you're not crazy. You know you don't need to really talk to anybody. You just know there's just an imbalance. So, having anxiety, having depression, and then.
Well, let me just interject for just a minute because she talked about starting about 10. I remember her being in elementary school and we got a call from the principal and they were having a time with her. And it had gotten to the point, so not bad, I don't want to say bad, but it gotten to the point where the teachers would no longer accept her in the class. So we literally had to go, and the teachers had to interview her, and she had to interview the teachers to see if a teacher was willing to take them in the class. And thank God, who was that teacher that took you? Remember?
I can't remember his name. Miss Hines.
Miss Hines. Oh, at Brennan Elementary
And she
School.
loved me. I loved Miss Hines
She was a godsend.
because she knew how to handle me. Other teachers would want to yell, like, don't yell at me. I'm like 10, I'm going to yell back. I remember I wrote this letter to this girl named Salone Rutherford and called her a fat elephant because it was just too much. She was doing too much. She was always running off in the bounds. And I felt like she had like this superior complex because I was black and she was white. So it's just like a whole lot of things sometimes in elementary school. People picking on you because you had pigtails or you had glasses, you know. And I remember in third grade also that I was kissing the assistant principal's nephew. So, and then he got transferred to another school, you know. This is in third grade, you know. I was always lit, you know.
So take us to high school. Do you think it was better in high school?
High school, I just hated high school. You know how some people say, "Oh, high school was amazing." No, I hated. I hated high school. It was fun because I was in PCA, which is a performing arts program. So,
Always a drama
excuse me,
queen.
that was really good. That was a really good outlet. I played soccer for a while whenever I went to practice. School, I went to school with those kids since elementary school, so it's just like I was bored of them. I was tired of them. You know, we all had secrets on each other. We all had it was just a lot. You know, I hated high school. I couldn't wait to get out of school. And then college was just travesty. I went to HBCU to start off with. None of the girls really liked me. I really didn't like any of the girls. The campus was just dreadful, dreadful. My roommate, it would y'all look. I'm a very introverted person. I'm very shy by nature. I'm very quiet by nature until you get to know me.
Ooh,
But in
honey.
those instances when you already have social anxiety, it was a lot. You know, school was not for me.
And we didn't understand what it was as parents. We had no idea what it was. And, we just said, like, just get it together. And so it probably wasn't until,
I had my kid that I got it together.
was that when you were actually diagnosed with,
Hmm.
so all this time, for what, 10 years or so.
Hmm.
And so how it would manifest with Bianca, I'm sure people that have anxiety, it manifests in all different ways. Um, However, I think it's important that she explains to you just like how her anxiety just manifests and the severity of it.
Um, my anxiety a lot comes from stress and not knowing how to deal with stress. I don't deal with conflict resolution. I don't know how to argue well. That's not my fun suit.
I don't know how to argue
Um,
well.
because I don't argue. I'm always like, boom, I want to take a jab and I'm done talking about it. Like I'm done talking about it after I say what I have to say. That's with other people. Other people, I can just dead them, but you're my mom, so I have to deal with you.
And then she just drags it on and on and on.
So, um, and you know, I feel when it's starting to come on because I'll feel like 2 weeks in advance. I'll feel like I'm very, very stressed. My neck is tight. I'm very irritated. Everything is getting on my nerves. Any and everybody, I just be wanting to slap and punch everybody, and that's how you know it's starting to come on. And then after a couple of drinks, then boom, it's just downhill, and I just can't
Well, let
come
me
out
just
of the spiraling circle.
push in here a couple of drinks. I mean, it's not like she's just drinking all the time. But this last episode, she went partying. She can talk for herself. Of course, she's 29. She went partying. She is not a drinker. Has never been. Pretended to be one through high school. And every
Alcohol poisoning
Saturday,
every weekend.
every
Every
weekend.
weekend.
Well, not every. But anyway,
Every
so
weekend.
but I want them to, so it manifests in a very interesting way. Once your anxiety comes, what happens instantly?
I'm instantly sick. Instantly throwing up probably about 20 to 30 times a day. I'm not able to keep anything down.
Nothing.
Just laying down, I'm hunched over. I just be wanting to be left alone and just like give up. Like just everything, just turn off the lights, close the door, let it be cold in here. But then here comes your baby, and you have to remember, okay, at the end of the day, yeah, I don't feel good. I'm still a mom, but it's hard to come out of that anxiety and deal with life, especially with someone who doesn't understand. I need a minute. You get to take a nap and go upstairs, and people tend to you. And right now, I need everybody just to go away.
So I just want to reiterate something. Bianca kind of glossed over it, but the severity at which her anxiety can get at times. That when she says she's vomiting, and sometimes she can go a day, and sometimes it can last 14 days, and it has been times that it has lasted a month at times where she just literally vomits. And so she becomes dehydrated, and there's very little. We go to the emergency room. It's very little that they can do. And so, with the diagnosis, I think as a mom, it was a little difficult for me because all this time, but I do remember the very first time she was hospitalized for these episodes, and we had a Nigerian hospitalist at Providence Hospital, and he diagnosed it that day at that time, and that was probably 10 years ago. But here we are. So, in this climate, Bianca, as we close, in this climate, with everyone having to deal with everything, and there are some people, you know, as Amy talks about, that are mentally stronger than others, and that's not a jab, and that's not anything. It just is what it is. So, what advice would you have, or what kind of tips would you have to help people with anxiety deal with the times ahead?
Um, Although this is a dark and gloomy time that we are dealing with, it's like it's hard for me sometimes to even imagine the future, even imagine dating through this pandemic. So I know for me, I dream a lot, even if it's just daydreaming, and just in that moment, I'm just zoned out for like 10, 15 minutes, just dreaming of finding the Mr. Right, or having another child, or writing something. I'm in the process of writing a sex book now. So, just writing in my book and just trying to like stay active. Even if her and I just go outside, just having something to look forward to. Okay, I'm working from home. Let me go ahead and shut down the computer real quick, go outside, regroup, recharge. I meditate a lot. I try to do exercises. So if there's something that you do, whether it's you want to drink some wine, you want to sit there in the mirror, you want to twerk, you want to do some makeup, you want to have sex. I mean, I don't know, whatever. Then just
In
do
this
that, but do
pandemic?
that safely,
Okay.
and then stay at home. This will be over once we learn how to stay at home. So,
Well, Bianca Honeybee Davis, thank you so much for being our guest. And we'll have her on again. She has many talents. Thank you for your candor. And I hope that something we've shared with you today will encourage you to just keep on going, okay? And the word says to be anxious for nothing, but with prayer and supplication, make your requests known unto the Lord. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will direct your heart and mind in Christ Jesus. Until the next time, peace. Come on, B. Peace.